What's going on, guys? It's Cody with EXP Realty. And today, this video is going to be kind of different because this is, it's a new year. It's 2025. So I wanted to share a story on how I almost quit real estate back in 2024. Some of you may be close to me. You'll know my whole story. But in today's video, I want to share how I almost quit real estate and how it got better from being at my lowest point on where I literally was contemplating is real estate was even for me. So in this video, I just want to give basically a story time, going month to month. I literally wrote it down here. I have it in my notes of what happened each month of, my entire real estate career. I'm telling you off the dome with notes I have right here of what happened between January to all the way in December in 2024 on, like I said, how I was at literally at the bottom of the bottom as a realtor to literally taking listings a month. So without further ado, guys, like I said, I really hope you guys can relate to this, especially new real estate agents, because I do have something for you if you stick to the end of this video, how how you can fix your situation. Check out my social medias. I post daily vlogs of me trying to hit multi six figures as a real estate agent. You guys are really liking the vlogs over there. I say this every video, but you guys are really showing support and I'm really liking it. I love when you guys ask questions. I love when you guys, just DM me funny stuff about the vlogs, what was your best part. And also, if you're a client or if you're a buyer or seller who's looking to relocate in Arkansas or sell your property to relocate out of Arkansas, be sure to contact me down in the description below, guys. I updated everything. 2025 is going to be my year, guys. And so without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video. So like I said, guys, if you did not know me or if you was not close to me, you're probably like, who is this guy? This is my first time watching this video. I don't know who this guy is, but I want to know what he's talking about. I'm going to tell you some crazy stuff. But if you know who I am, you'll know that I literally went through 3 brokerages and I went through so much stuff to a point where, like, Cody, how are you not quitting real estate? How do you, like, at this point, if I was in your shoes, I would probably have left this, business and pursue something else. And I'm going to explain it in this video. It was a whole mindset thing. And, we're going to start off with January of 2024. Now, look, let me give you some context because I got my real estate license late 2023 and I got my first client in December of 2023. It was my first lot listing. So I got my first lot listing in January. We were selling it about $3,000. I was really helping my auntie find a lot that whoever owned it next to her house, and I ended up getting in contact with the seller, which will be my first dual agency. And it's crazy. I never thought I would be in a dual agency. Whenever I got my real estate license, I always told myself, dual agency was probably the hardest thing in real estate, trying to represent two sides, two parties on trying to get them to negotiate and get them to agree to one thing. I thought, that's impossible, because they say it was so illegal in other states. I always feared of being in a dual agency, and I always thought, I'm not going to be in a dual agency. And lo and behold, my first transaction, my first few clients is a dual agency. And on top of that, January was also the first time I started making content. And it's also the first time I started investing into my first mentor. His name was Mike Sherrod. If you guys don't know who Mike Sherrod is, he actually does a lot of social media as a real estate agent, how to brand your stuff. And I started investing into him and started making content for myself. Now, I didn't start doing YouTube until later on into this video. I'm going to be talking about how I got into YouTube and why I didn't get into YouTube. But I started making a lot of Instagram shorts, YouTube, TikToks, and more of Facebook Reels or whatever you call them. I started making buyers and sellers tips. Making those videos was also a reason why I got quote unquote fired or forced to leave my first brokerage. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, I was forced to leave my first brokerage. I don't know, you can call it I got fired, but I was forced to leave my brokerage because my broker at the time was super paranoid of me posting content. The reason why she was so paranoid of me posting content was because back then I was still fairly new to editing. I was trying to edit my videos in a certain way, whereas it was picture based, but at the same time you were still learning. So I was editing my videos kind of like that, putting videos and like pictures into my content. And whenever I was editing videos like that, I guess I was trying to get free images online. So I'm guessing she did her research and found out that there were copyrighted images. So she got afraid of trying to get copyrighted, ended up suing the company, and that was the reason why she let me go. But that was not really the only reason why she let me go. She wanted better for me. We didn't really have training at Azure Real Estate. And like I mentioned, if you guys are really OG and really know who I am, you guys remember Azure Real Estate. If you're an OG subscriber, you'll know my first few videos that before I deleted them, I was in Azure Real Estate. But yeah, I got forced to leave that brokerage, and it's no hatred towards them because I still talk to them to this day, especially the agent that really put me on into how to get my real estate license. But the next month it got a bit better because next month is when I joined my first real brokerage. So this is February, and February was a great time for me because this is the first time I joined my first real brokerage, Century 21 Parker and Scroggins Realty. This was a complete game changer for me. I finally got training. I finally was with other agents. I finally was at my first real big brokerage, and this was all the way in Bend and Bryant. And this was also the time where I started getting into property tours. And the crazy thing is, this month is when I really went crazy with property tours because I finally had agents who had their own listings that I kind of didn't know what social media. Well, they didn't really, post on social media because, they had some limiting belief that wasn't consistent enough. They think their voice sounds cheesy, all that stuff, all the usual stuff. That's why they didn't post on social media. So I took that opportunity and started making consistent property tours for the agents that were in the brokerage. I mean, I was recording everybody's listings. I even asked everybody. I would usually go as far as texting people personally, hey, can I record your listings for content? Trying to put myself out there and trying to basically be that buyer's agent for all those other listing agents out there. So honestly, nothing really too much happened in February. I joined a new brokerage. I got way more consistent with content, which is also going to be lead to the next month, which I got way better with content. So this is March. I've gotten, like I said, more consistent with content. I actually started getting more recognition while posting content. I remember this exact quote that one of my brokers at Century 21 said. Her husband started recognizing me on TikTok. I'm like, that's pretty crazy because back then I was kind of still a nobody. Nobody really knew me. Only the people that were following me, they knew what I was doing. I never realized I was really reaching out to other people that didn't know me. And it's crazy how you never know who watches your videos. And I was starting getting a lot more of that on Facebook and especially on TikTok. But I'm not gonna say that it's easy to blow up on TikTok, but you never know who's watching your stuff. And like I said, I've gotten more consistent with content, but at the same time, guys, I was still getting no results. I just got my second listing from the seller I was helping out sell the first property in January. He had another lot he wanted to sell, and also this was the month that we took the time to put his other lot on the market. So it was really my second client or my second listing. But the worst thing that happened this month, which was the real tragic thing, I got quote unquote fired from my job. Yes, I lost my only main source of income. And at the time, I was still getting no business, like I said. But, I didn't necessarily get fired. I had an opportunity to go back. I didn't choose to get that. I didn't choose to go back because there was so much animosity at my job. And it just wasn't worth it to go back to what, with just what brung me down. A lot of people really got mad because I started taking this more seriously. Started taking more of my real estate business more seriously than my 9 to 5 job. So I wasn't gonna take that opportunity to go back because I felt like if I did go back, I wasn't gonna evolve at all. So it changed a lot of things because April was the darkest month of my real estate career. This was the time I still had no business, I still had no job, I had no main source of income. I was literally running off the income that I already saved from my job, and the money that I spent from my first sale, it was already blown out the door. It was literally like $300, and that was already like groceries, gas, and like other small bills that I had. So that was completely out the window. I was literally running off pocket change, if you want to say it like that. And at the same time, I had no business, and there was just honestly, I had thoughts of like, is this for me? Is this real estate stuff for me? Because I've been doing this for almost what 3-4 months now. I only closed one deal. I'm consistent on all these social medias. Why am I not getting business? So I just believe in myself. I kept telling myself, hey, you're gonna make it through this. It's gonna work one day. And it was just hard to fight that that mind of like, Cody, this is not working. do something, go get a job, do something. But at the same time, I still was looking for a 9 to 5 job. Don't get me wrong, but it was just overall this real estate business. I just wasn't getting anything until May come around, and May things got a little bit better. This is where I sold the other lot. I gained another $300. Just a little pocket change money, and that was paid little extra bills with that. But also this month, I actually got my first few buyer leads. So this month I got 3 buyer leads. One was my cousin, and 2 other was some couples. Well, all 3 of them were couples because my cousin and her boyfriend, and 2 other couples that were looking for properties. But as soon as I thought things were going to get better, I actually lost 2 of the leads, which was the other couples. And the reason why I only lost one of the lead was because she said I wasn't bringing enough info whenever I was showing them properties. I mean, I was literally giving them enough information for them to make decisions, and she claims that I wasn't giving her enough info, and she said she just wanted to terminate the contract. And the other way how I lost the other buyer lead was the craziest way possible, because also in this month, I literally got a completely new job. I got a new 9 to 5, something that I can replace some of my income with before I start popping off real estate. And the crazy thing is, they were looking for a property really fast. And once I told them that, hey, I got another 9 to 5 job, and I was kind of working 8 hours over there, and putting a little time into the real estate business. When I told them that, it was like hell for them. They told me that they can't work with me because I'm not gonna put my 100% all in them, and that kind of broke me down because I missed out on a few $1,000s that would have got me right back on my feet after losing my job. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a new job. I was going to get back on my feet, but I missed out on nearly $10,000, nearly $15,000 in buyer's commissions just because I told them I had a job. That was the craziest thing that happened to me. I still won't forget it to this day. And like, for going on forward from then, I didn't tell none of my clients that I had a job and had 100%, genuine, all my focus is on them, which is 100% at the end of the day. But if you're an agent and you have a 9 to 5 job, if it's not your family member, do not tell your clients that you have a 9 to 5 or some other that's not important of them, or they're going to feel like they're neglected, or they feel like they're not going to have enough of your time. And that was my biggest mistake that I made whenever I had these buyer leads. But I still have my cousin, which we're going to June. June got a little better because June was the time I closed a deal with my cousin. If you guys remember, one of my cousins was a buyer. I sold them a property, so I really got a little bit back on my feet by making a couple $1,000s. At the same time, I still had this 9 to 5 job where I went from being full time and I cut it back to part time because I wanted to put more focus into my real estate business. But unfortunately, I thought it was going to get better, and I just kept making mistake after mistake after mistake by spending most of my commission money on unnecessary things and not really investing it back into myself or my business. And doing these bad habits, me being 19, 20 at the time, because June was around my birthday. I just turned 20. So being that young and not knowing what to do with all that money, I didn't invest it. I just blew it on stupid stuff, and that led me right back being a broke, pay to paycheck to paycheck agent. So let this be a lesson to some of y'all agents. If you're closing deals, don't be spending your money on unnecessary things, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Start using your income and investing into other stuff that I'm doing now. I'm so glad that I made that mistake and learned from it, because if I didn't learn from it, I will probably be in the same situation as I was back last summer today. So please do not spend all your unnecessary income on things that are not going to give you the highest return rate. But July got a little better. I started to get a lot of leads after closing that deal, but these leads, I didn't know how to convert them. So they were kind of basically floating leads, which I'm going to get to later into this video on how to actually fix that problem. Also, I was starting to get more recognition, and this was the time where I actually started becoming more consistent on YouTube. If I told you guys, but in April, this is when I started making YouTube content. I was still consistent around that time, but July was the only real time I actually got consistent. I started getting a little more recognition, a little bit more than the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those recognition. This is where I started getting used to making long form content. And also, which is crazy, this was also the time where I started doing expired listing prospecting. This time I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, which is cold calling expires. I was actually mailing expires, which was the worst thing you can do as an expired listing prospecting method. Also, I'm gonna get that later down the line. Also, I got a new buyer, which was another family member, and she was another high dollar client that I'm still working to this day because they want to find the perfect house. And I don't blame them because moving is already a big deal. But August got a little bit more interesting. After making money from my 9 to 5 job, I started investing back into myself. And I remember this specific day. I was at an open house and I was looking and I was scrolling like, how can I get these expired prospect listings? How can I actually get these listings and how to actually prospect these people? And I was just scrolling through social media and I came across my boy Aaron. Aaron was another mentor of mine today, and to this day we're really close. We're good friends, and this was the time where I started looking into more mentoring, more teaching me the ways of how to be successful in this business. And I seen Aaron, and I seen his expired prospecting scripts. I actually tried them out on myself. They actually made sense on actually how to talk to these expired listings. So after practicing the scripts, looking over them, they made sense. I started looking into this program and I started investing into a second mentor, which, like I said, was my boy Aaron. He basically changed the way I seen being a realtor. He basically changed the way I've seen how to actually prospect people. And the way, like, this is just not a promotion at the end of the day, but this is the way that he taught me stuff. It just, after all those months behind me, made me realize how much time I was wasting, how I didn't know how to convert leads, and how much business I was letting slip by my fingers. And I was like, bro, I could have made thousands and thousands of dollars, just all that just going past me because I didn't know how to actually prospect people and actually convert leads. So September came around. This was before I even had a dialer. So I was manually prospecting people, basically like looking up the property, trying to find who the property owner is, trying to find their phone number, and manually trying to prospect people. And at the same time, he built the community that I joined, and I was finally around like-minded agents, finally seeing, what's it like being around, like-minded individuals who are trying to reach the same goals as me. Guys, we have an entire Discord community of like-minded agents that you guys should join. Guys, I'm going to be talking a little bit about that more at the end of this video on how I can help you and how my mentor can help you convert those leads. But also meeting agents like that also changed the way my standards were as an agent too. So most of my business, if I dare say all of my business, changed in next September. So most of my business, may I say all of my business, changed in September, but most of everything got way better in October, because October was the first time I ever invested into a actual dialer, and it was called Mojo Dialer. This is not a sponsor or anything. Like I said, it was Mojo Dialer. This is what I use as a dialer. And also, I was getting better and more confident with the phone. Now in September, whenever I was cold calling, I never thought I would be cold calling. I never thought I was going to cold call. I was actually really scared to cold call people because I didn't know how to really talk business into people or actually convert or get somebody to meet with me to an appointment over the phone. This is when I went from Century 21 and changed my brokerage and I switched to eXp Realty. Now, I don't necessarily want to get too deep into this because I already made an entire video on me going to eXp, why I moved to eXp, but I'm just going to give you a short brief on it. I just, after speaking with my boy Aaron, which is at eXp, we just thought it would just be a better fit for me to be at a brokerage where it's going to be a bunch of successful people. And I was like, the benefits over there were way better. And I was like, why not join there? And I finally made that commitment to join eXp. There's no hate to at Century 21. I love those people over there. I still support them, and it's no hatred towards them. But I just felt like I just wasn't evolving over at that brokerage. And that's what made me switch to eXp. Fast forward in that November, I started getting way, way, way more confident over the phone. I started actually learning how to actually handle objections, how to actually solve problems, give solutions. Now to this day, I'm still tweaking it. I'm not perfect. There's obviously room to improve, but I was way better than what I was from way back in early in 2024 to November 2024. And this is where my business completely changed me. I was getting consistent listing appointments. I was finally I was finally creating a predictable business for myself. I was actually, like getting all these listings. At this point, back then, it was like creating all these listing appointments. It was starting to get overwhelming for me. I was like, whoa, what's going on? This is a crazy shift in my business. I didn't have all of this early in 2024. And it was exciting and scary at the same time, which led in December of 2024. This is where I actually mastered the scripts and actually became a coach, helping other agents handle objections and actually giving solutions and actually learning how to take expired listings and actually converting with their leads. And now around this time, I was actually taking minimum 1 to 2 new listings a month, even more than that, because I set myself to a high standard that I need to get minimum 2 listings a month, or I need to get minimum 3 listings a month. Just the way I just got better and better at it, my standards go higher and I actually start to reach my goals more. Which brings me to the point that I've been talking about earlier on this video. If you watched this far, I really appreciate you. That means if you're probably an agent, or, if you're somebody who really want to know who I am, I really, really, really appreciate you. And, just why not subscribe? Like and subscribe. I mean, also, if you're an agent, and you at this point, you may be relating to what I'm saying. This is what I do offer for agents. Like I said, I am a coach. I do teach agents how to actually convert objections and actually convert your leads into listing or buyer appointments. So if you're an agent and you want to actually stop losing leads, because I guarantee you have every lead possible, you just don't know how to actually handle their objections. Like, for example, oh, I don't want to do anything right now, or it's the market, or I'm just not confident in the market, or any objection, you just don't know how to handle it. This is what I specialize. I help agents, actually handle objections, like I said, and I help agents convert them into listing and buyer appointments. So like I said, if you're an agent and you need help converting your leads, be sure to send me a DM, shoot me a DM on any of my social media platforms, and DM me the word convert, and let's see how me and my mentor can help you with your business. We're going to create a free Zoom call, how we can help you with your business, and see how we can elevate you for free. Guys, this is for free, guys. This is a great opportunity that honestly, I wish I should have took this opportunity way earlier in my business. But this was the year I almost quit real estate. It was super crazy to me. I had a bunch of ups and downs. I told you guys what my lowest point was, and I honestly thought 2024 was the year I thought I was going to quit real estate. I lost my job. I almost lost everything. And, I stuck it out. Even though I had bad spending habits, I still was able to get on my feet and actually invest back into my business. And now I'm taking multiple listings a month, creating a predictable business, handling objections, coaching agents on getting better with their objection handling, getting them to listing appointments, getting them to buyer appointments, and I'm just building an empire. And guys, and like I said, if you're an agent, you need help handling objections, because every agent needs help with something. So without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, at the beginning of the video, be sure to follow all my social medias, my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're a client, if you're a buyer or seller who watched this far into the video, I really appreciate you, because man, you really want to know who I am, and we may work together someday. So, and if you want to contact me, my socials and all my contacts are in the description below. But guys, I really hope you enjoy it, and I'm super happy at that shit if you made it this far. And honestly, man, let me know who you are in the comments. If you made it this far, just comment down the word, I don't know, comment down I saw the rest of this video, or just if you're an agent, comment your story down the video, and I'll reply to it. I try to get to it, because I do my production. I'm super busy now, so if I just want to know who you are, if you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate you. And guys, without further ado, um, just really thank you. I really thank you if you made it this far. But without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.